the first global scandal in the nation's history. So huge and so large that it is difficult to conceive and really to imagine. But from what the panelists have told us, Guna in particular, I mean, it's evident and very clear that crimes have been committed. Money laundering, embezzlement, corruption. It is an international fact, but it is something which we try to run away from and pretend it does not happen, and anybody who tries to raise it is likely to be penalized. I still remember that in the end of July, before the Empire Strikes Back, 2nd of July was the Wall Street Journal, when its report about the 2.6 billion ringgit in the Najib's deposited in the Najib's accounts. And for the subsequent 3 to 4 weeks, we see various various institutions carrying out their duties. The task force of the 4 Tan Sris which was formed, and it will appear that some action will be taken. But the empire struck back on the 27th of July. The Deputy Prime Minister was sacked. Senior Minister who questioned the 1MDB dealings of the PM was also sacked. The Attorney General was sacked. And that led to a 9-day chaos where the heads of various institutions were either arrested, immediately transferred, intimidated, or cowed. But I'm sure we all can remember, about 4 or 5 days before the Empire Strikes Back, the grapevine was throbbing with the rumors that the last days of Najib, the days of Najib were numbered. Actions were going to be taken against him. The Attorney General was going to arrest him, charge him in court. And I also heard about these rumors, but I didn't really believe them, because the question I asked myself was this: if the grapevine is so alive with these talk of action against the Najib, why is Najib doing nothing? How can it be? Everybody in the grapevine seems to know action will be taken against Najib. Najib will be toppled, Najib will be arrested, Najib will be charged, but Najib is doing nothing. He seems to be so sure of himself, unless he knew all about it all along. He knew all about it all along, and he was waiting for the time to strike back. And the empire struck back on the 27th of July, and now we are seeing this scenario, and where he seems to have succeeded in driving the issue underground in a global cover-up of a global scandal, except that is not bookable because it is no more a national scandal but a global scandal. And he of course tried to restore confidence, and the Sarawak elections, he hijacked the Sarawak elections from Adnan Saddam and claimed that it was a vote of confidence in him, despite the 1MDB scandal, despite the 4.2 billion donation scandal. But he could only boast about it for 17 days. Because 17 days after the 7th Sarawak general elections, the 4th of May, Singapore struck. In Singapore, the BSI bank was closed. The 6 top BSI officials were referred to the prosecution for criminal, as whether criminal offences should be preferred against them. In Switzerland, 143-year-old bank was closed, and within a year, and criminal prosecutions were initiated. And other countries are coming. Other countries' actions are going to come. I understand in the United States, probably action will be instituted in September. And just now we heard from Claire. And Claire has been named by Fortune magazine as among the 50 most influential people because of the expose of this one NTB scandal. Very dogged, very determined, very persistent, despite all the pressures on her. And that's why I asked her just now whether she's prepared to come to Malaysia if invited by the Public Accounts Committee to testify, provided that all the guarantees of immunity and that and she was prepared to give you serious consideration. And let's see whether the Public Accounts Committee Chairman Hassan Arifin is prepared to more than just cari makan. More than just cari makan. But I think while we're having this colloquium, because we are lost what to do. There should be a Royal Commission inquiry to get to the bottom of it. But of course, this is not going to happen unless there's a change of government, and that is 2 years from today. The two by-elections in Sungai Besar and Kamsa may be useful in terms of indicating to Najib the people's concerns about this one MBTB scandal. But this is a difficult issue because it's difficult to make ordinary Malaysians understand the enormity, how evil is this scandal. It's so big. It is so big. Everybody knows it is a big scandal, but they think it is something distant from them. So, well, we had to make use of these two by-elections to make people understand that corruption is not a victimless crime. That the 55 billion one NTB scandal is not a victimless crime. Eventually, the people of Malaysia will have to pay for the monstrous attacks. And if the 55 billion ringgit is divided among the 42,000 voters in Sungai Besar, every voter will have 1.5 billion ringgit. Every voter will get 1.5 million ringgit. Imagine what you can do with that money. Just now, I also thought about, it occurred to me that when Tony was talking about the failures of the various institutions. No, I got it. The SPRM, the Bank Negara, the police, the Aegis Chambers. But I remember that on one X 2.8 million bungalow allegation. He was questioned for 3 days, for 23 hours. Imagine if SPRM had given Najib the same treatment, how long will he be questioned? How long will he be questioned? Let's talk about, never mind about 55 billion on MDB scandal. We just talk about 4.2 billion donation scandal. 4.2 billion is 1.5 million times bigger than 2.8 million bungalow issue of money. 1.5 million times. If Guaneng is to be questioned for 3 days for 2.8, he should be questioned for 4.5 million days. 4.5 million days. And that is how many years? I did a quick count just now. That is 12,328 years. Going in, going out, wake up, going in, wake up for 12,000 years. And of course, impossible to hit a person to be around for 12,000 years. You will need 100 Najibs. 100 Najibs. So, of a lifetime, assuming he live for 100 years. Live for 100 years. I mean, that is what we have, what we face in Malaysia today. So I think maybe we should think in terms of, but there must be a closure to this one MDB scandal. How can there be a closure? If Najib is covering it up, doesn't want to have a Royal Commission inquiry, maybe the civil society, everybody who are concerned, patriotic Malaysians must think, maybe, whether it is possible, explore, think about it, that the People's Royal Commission, People's Commission inquiry be instituted. And this time not just Malaysian, international, because it's become an international issue. international money laundering, international corruption. We had the example of the Panama Papers that Cynthia mentioned. The Panama Papers, where you have the international consortium of independent journalists. Maybe we can rope them in to help, to participate. We can get, there's more and more global NGOs concerned about integrity, about fighting corruption, about fighting money laundering. And maybe we can start off, have an international investigation by the civil society, international civil society, into the one MDB scandal, since the Malaysian government refuses to initiate any inquiry because they are the parties involved. So I think these are the ideas probably the colloquium can focus on. Maybe you should have a colloquium all up and down the country, not only in Sungai Besar and Kuala Kangsar, so that the enormity of the one MDB scandal is brought to the understanding of the people, because this is a very colossal scandal. And as at least you have this report, the PAC report, and you must thank the Public Accounts Committee. And it's important, not that they give any answers, but it's at least all the stories, all the tales about the all the hanky-panky investment, money laundering, the deals, all the shell companies. Now, not just reports, unverified reports of Sarawak report of international publications, but they are now confirmed by the Public Accounts Committee. And I think that is something for which we must be grateful. We now can talk about it, because otherwise we seem to be dealing with something that's under the umbrage of Official Secrets Act. So this is only the tip of an iceberg. It must be followed up, and I don't expect the PAC or the Parliament to follow up. Maybe it is something the civil society to give serious consideration. The C4 in particular should be able to give serious consideration as to what we can do in order to let the whole story of the one MDB scandal to come out. And if we can do that, then I think this colloquium will have started an important process on transparency, on accountability, on citizens' democratic participation. And of course, we hope that it will begin on June 18 with the two results in Sungai Besar and Kuala Kangsar. Thank you very much.